Mr. Speaker, I rise today in support of H.R. 1423, a bill I sponsored to designate the post office in Ardmore, Oklahoma, as the Specialist Micheal E. Phillips Post Office. Micheal was driven by a personal sense of duty and honor. He joined the Army because he recognized injustice and terror in our world and sought to make a difference. Specialist Micheal Phillips lived out that sense of duty through military service and made the ultimate sacrifice to ensure our nation remains secure and free. Mr. Speaker, Micheal turned down an opportunity to attend the San Francisco Art Institute to volunteer for the United States Army. When asked why he wanted to join the Army, Micheal simply stated, quote, "I want a career and we're at war." Specialist Phillips saw terrorists as thugs, often referring to them as, quote, "the ultimate bullies in the world," unquote. A fervent student of history, Micheal knew that his service would be against a tough and formidable enemy. Still, he enthusiastically embraced what he believed was the right decision and enlisted in the United States Army. Mr. Speaker, Micheal Phillips was only 17 years of age when he joined the military via the delayed entry program. He left for boot camp on June 24, 2006. Upon finishing advanced infantry training, Micheal was assigned to Bravo Company 1 of the 502nd Strike Brigade of the 101st Airborne Division, one of the most storied divisions in the United States Army. On October 13, 2007, Micheal and his brothers in arms were deployed in Iraq for combat operations. Micheal's enthusiasm for his work inspired members of his platoon. In addition to his enthusiasm, Specialist Phillips also endeavored to foster real camaraderie amongst his fellow soldiers. Even in the middle of a war, it was said that Micheal made bad times good and good times better. Micheal's team leader, Matthew Sergeant Whalen, praised his abilities in terrain association, map reading, and his tremendous bravery in combat. Sergeant Whalen reflected on Specialist Phillips' leadership skills, noting, quote, "I know that soldiers that did serve with him have taken away with them, as I have, the undoubted and unmistaken values that he always possessed and always portrayed." Mr. Speaker, Specialist Micheal E. Phillips was killed in action on February 24, 2008 in Shulla, Iraq, just outside of Baghdad. An explosively formed penetrator, the so-called EFPs, hit the driver's side of the door in the vehicle that he was driving. Despite the severity of his injuries, he continued to smile and reassured those taking care of him. Even in the most grim and serious times, Micheal still fought and lifted up those around him. For his service, Specialist Micheal Phillips was awarded a Bronze Star. He was also designated as a distinguished member of the 526th Infantry Regiment. The Distinguished Member Award is for those who display honorable service, loyalty on active duty in peace and war. These are qualities Micheal Phillips lived with each and every day of his service career. Mr. Speaker, Micheal always gave more than his share back to his community. When he did have time away from his duty, he would often visit his high school to speak with students and encourage them to pursue their goals. Never without a smile, Micheal fought for his country, his community, and his family with valor and with honor. He wanted others in the world to have the freedoms and opportunities that we enjoy here in the United States, and he risked his life to achieve that end. Like many who have made the ultimate sacrifice, Specialist Micheal Phillips leaves behind loved ones, friends, and comrades in arms who treasure his memory and honor his service. Micheal is survived by his parents, Stephen and Angela Phillips, his brothers, David and Anthony, and his sister, Barbara, all of Ardmore, Oklahoma. He also leaves behind a nation and a community that will never forget his courage, his sacrifice, and his devotion to duty. Mr. Speaker, I urge the passage of this legislation, and I yield back the balance of my time.